Hi everybody, welcome back. It is time for a little experiment. Well, it's an experiment for me because I haven't really done it often, but I really liked from the kind of Halloween themed painting that I did. I really loved the red and the black center of that one. And I want to use my tool again. And I hope everybody had a nice Halloween if they celebrated. I hope everybody was safe. So I'm gonna use the tool. I'm gonna use red, black, and silver only. I'm going to do, and this is the part where I thought about it. I was like, do I do a puddle and swipe through it and then wreck it? Do I do a ring pour, wreck it, then swipe through? So I have like 3 or 4 ideas that you'll probably see me try as videos. But the first one I'm gonna do is the wrecked ring pour, but I'm gonna swipe through it and wreck the swipes as well with my little swiping tool that I made. If you didn't see the Halloween video, I explained it there, but it's basically just skewers that are together. You can hold them down like that. So, I also debated swiping with white or swiping with black. So I think I'm gonna swipe with black for this one. But again, like I said, when I start with a concept, it just grows and grows because with fluid art, there's so many different things that you could try. So I thought swiping with white as an idea, wrecking it versus not wrecking the ring pour, puddling it versus pouring it in a ring. You know, there's so many different options. But I'm gonna get started. We'll see how this one turns out. Let's paint. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the red in the center again, and I will probably use up this entire container with this one. I love the red next to the black, so that is definitely going to be my 2 predominant colors here. I'm going to go with the silver in the middle, and then I'm actually going to do I think I'm going to layer a little bit more black, and then the red again. So this is going to be a relatively dark painting, I think. But maybe the silver will lighten it up a little bit and the bright red. Oh, I changed it. I didn't do my black next to my red. All right, well, we'll see how that comes out. That normally lightens things up a little bit more. Definitely want to use up the rest of the red in this. Pyrrole red is probably my favorite red color out of Amsterdam series, at least. Okay, now black. now back to the black. Oh my gosh, that's a tongue twister. And then I'll finished up my silver too. Finished up with the silver and the tiniest bit of black on the top. So this is interesting, just 3 colors, super simple. Let's see how it comes out. Okay, now here is my black swipe color. So we'll see how that goes. And I think I'm just gonna go for it. So let's start here with the rings. Wanted to do big rings and kind of do a reverse ring pour in the center. Yeah, see the silver mixed with the red a little bit to give like a lighter pinkish color, and that's why I put the black next to the red normally, because it keeps the red a super bright color. Okay, there we go. I've got my center coming out. Gonna alternate my lines so that there's red on every side. Switching back and forth so that I get like that those little ringlets of color on each one. And if my center doesn't turn out great, you can always just wreck the center as well. I have a lot of paint still coming out of here. I can't laugh or it messes up my ring pour. Oh my goodness, there was a lot of paint there. That last little bit was stretchy. So where I can already see right here where I decided to come back around, this area right here and this area right here where I reversed my wrist, created those lines, but since I'm gonna wreck it, it doesn't matter. That is okay. I am gonna pour some black around the edge, what's left over, so that I can have it slide well. The rest of that out of that cup. The rest of this out of this cup. Using up paints. I gotta tell you, when I did my course, I mixed up my paints like 5 or 6 times, a bunch of different colors, just to make sure I had everything right. And I ended up with a table full of paint. So that is what I have been using. All right, so I'm going to I am gonna swipe through. Okay, see now, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll wreck a little bit first, just like some edges. I love the center, so but I am gonna swipe through it. So maybe I'll do a swipe here and a swipe here. I have my big palette knife, but I think I'm gonna use my medium size one on this because I don't want the swipes to like take over the entire painting. Yep, so I had this one, but I'm gonna use this one instead. And I'm going to get it on the back end. Most of it drag off. Okay, let's swipe through this. First swipe is going to be right here. Okay. Okay, this red color is really pretty. The silver swiped on through there. It's a little bit more muted. I think my next swipe, I feel like I want to come through it right up here and leave that center. I love that red color that was up there. Okay, so I'm gonna gently hold it this way. This is so hard to do this way. Okay, so I left a little bit of the design in the center, a little bit on the outside. It's going to predominantly be the swipes. It's a little bit darker. So I don't know yet if I like this or not. I feel like maybe I should have swiped it with white, but I didn't want the white and the red to go to like a pink. But now I'm gonna come through, and I said I was gonna do it, so I'm gonna wreck this, swipe. These are all just experiments. I feel like one through there. I feel like maybe that's enough. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's really cool design. I feel like the black, I wish I had had a little bit more red in there. I think the design is gonna stretch out well. I mean, let's just see. These are all experiments, and it gives me ideas for the next experiments. So let's just see how this one goes. I have a good amount of paint on there. I always stretch to my sides a little bit first to make sure I'm gonna have enough. And I actually feel like if I could get this one to be a little bit more diagonal in design. So my rings, my rect rings are kind of off the sides. You're gonna have to see this one in person, up close. Oh, if everybody could see me in person, that would be amazing, but. Okay, and I like, oh my goodness. I like it. This gave such a different dimension. So it's really dark on the outer edges, but there is tiny bits of silver. The Rex through the swipe added a lot of dimension. I love the design that came out of these sides. Oh no, I knew I was gonna do it. I knew I was gonna do it. This is why I always wipe my hands off before. Okay, let's see if we can fix. Let's see if we can fix it. If not, we're just gonna have an eyeball there. Oh no. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is drag this line on up through there. Drag that red on up through there, where it already was. My hand was shaking. And drag, let me get a toothpick. Gosh, I knew that was gonna happen. At least it's wrecked, so you won't be able to tell it happened unless you watch the video. Oh, I'm not in love with that. Now you're gonna see how I try to fix paintings. And it really wasn't that much, actually. When I was looking at this, I just really don't like the way that that came up through there. I wanted that to be bright red through there. Okay. Okay, I like that. All of this from a little drip. Follow that line there. See, this is the only swoosh that's like not supposed to be there. All right, you know what? I think I'm gonna leave it. I think adding that red back to it right there was good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it now. Okay, crisis averted. Kind of. I really want this line to be like straight. I'm afraid if I do more to it. Okay, good enough. Good enough. And that line comes back down and then swoops back into it. So I feel like that's good. Okay, good enough. I say that and I keep fiddling. No, I'm gonna leave it because those all draw out the same. These all swoosh out the same. I'm gonna leave that. Phew, okay, so few things. My swipes I knew were going to be quite large. I feel like this needs to be done on a much larger scale, on a much larger canvas, or my palette knife needed to be a bit smaller. I love the webbing and the wrecked part that's through here. I do wish this part from the wrecked ring pour that I had it a little in a few more places, but I've got it in 1, 2, 3, so I love that. It's gonna dry really dark, but the red is gorgeous through those areas. And I loved the part that I kept in the center as just a wrecked ring. So overall, besides the drip, I I am really, really happy with this. And I definitely might try this in a more bright color combination with red as well. But I'll show you what this one looks like. Okay, I really, really like this. And you had to be up close to it to see how truly beautiful all the designs are. Like, there's so many different designs. There's from the wrecked ring pour, there's all the beautiful lacing from the swipes. That is gorgeous. Wrecking the swipes was interesting, and then keeping the ring pour wrecked and intact in the center. And this little piece up here, that strip of red right there, is so pretty. I really, really like this one. I enjoyed it. I like the composition. Super interesting with lots of motion and details. But all right, I will show you what this one looks like. And this gave me so many more ideas. All right, we'll see how it dries. All right, so this piece is going to be very hard to capture on video because of like the way that it's catching the light and the glare, but I'll take you in so that you can see the actual details of it. So look at that right there. How pretty is that? It's like a silver, it shines, it's got beautiful lacing. The details go right down into this like red lacing part. Gosh, it's so hard to see on camera. Super cool designs here. I've got to get you this way so the glare is off of it. And I actually love that part, and that part that I fiddled with fit in there nicely. But so difficult to see how actually pretty this one is. There, you can see it right there. How pretty is that? So super funky. Got a little bit of the swipe design up there too. That red is just kind of peeking through. Super cool design. And I really enjoyed wrecking the swipe, so I definitely think I will do that again. But this red, silver, and black color palette was really interesting to use. So I hope that you enjoyed this, and happy November to everybody. We are about to get into holiday season, and I can't wait to make some paintings. All right, thanks for watching. Happy painting. Bye.